And it does look like we're live, folks. Good afternoon. Welcome to another D Spot. I'm gonna switch this off over here on. It does look like we're live, folks. The Instagram, so I don't have any feedback. Good afternoon. Culés. Welcome, Barça fans. Welcome anybody for that matter for tuning in to a quick D Spot. It is 18 past the hour, 6 p.m. Central European time, and I'm exhausted. Look at this face. My goodness. I'll tell you what, Barça matches are certainly not for the faint-hearted, are they? Congratulations. A big up to all of the Barça fans for, are we allowed to prematurely celebrate the LaLiga title? I think so. It was another masterclass humiliation, un baño total yesterday in the Montjuic, and another Clasico that has been won by Hansi Flick in emphatic fashion. Like I said, these games are clearly not for the faint-hearted. They're emotional roller coasters, but luckily, thank goodness, with a happy end. 4 happy ends. I can't take any more happy ends. Too much. Who thought I would ever utter those words? Too much happy endings. My goodness. It has been quite something. Witnessing these Clásicos, these marathon of Clásicos, starting in the first half of the season and culminating in an absolute, well, just like I said, another heart-throbber, this one, where Madrid managed to take the 2-goal advantage after, what was it, just 15 minutes. The first half ending in a 4-2 comeback. After 45 minutes, I was telling kids, wife, I'm like, I'm done. This is all the football I can take. Luckily, the second half was a lot more calm in that regard. Still, though, we were, unfortunately, and had to suffer through some nail-biting moments and sit at the edge of our seats. I want to go through all of those things. It's unfortunate that this Clásico has been sort of overshadowed by the refereeing decisions, a lot of refereeing controversy calls that left, I think anybody that watched that match quite perplexed. And I want to go over those quickly as well, get your opinions, and of course, as always, get your likes in. So I'm multi-streaming this one again on several platforms. I see that the Instagrams is working. That is good. It hasn't been working, so I'm happy to see the chat coming in through the grams and from anywhere else. Please drop your comments in the comment section, and I will get to them in an orderly fashion. One at a time, please. One at a time. So, man, where do we start with? I think I kind of summed it up already, didn't I? Most of the action happened in the first half. Barça, the interesting part at this point in time, I know we're going to make a comeback. It's like, estamos ya muy mal acostumbrados. We're already we're spoiled in the comebacks. The fact that we can go down 2 goals at home in the first 15 minutes and still be like, we're good. We're good. This is exactly where we want them to have, as a matter of fact. That's the spark that we need to get us up off the ropes and come out swinging. I felt that, like, I was never, ever worried in those initial 15 minutes. I wasn't feeling great. Obviously, you don't like to see anybody but Real Madrid and Mbappe, for that matter, getting on a nice little brace to start off the Clásico, getting off on the right foot in that regard. But even there, the penalty... Look, I don't want to get into the controversies yet. Point I'm trying to drill home was that I knew that we were going to score, and I knew as soon as we do, it was going to open the floodgates. That's just what we're used to now. Let's Flick ball. It's Hansi Flick ball. It's football total. I mean, Rinus Michels is up from the heavens, giving this man a standing ovation, as is Johan Cruyff, and all the legends, all the godfathers of this very entertaining style of football. Like I said, call it football total, call it whatever it is you want. It's hugely amusing and entertaining. Amusing because in the end, again, Madridistas are left empty-handed, and that is a very funny part as well. I mean, did you guys see the moment where I think I have it here actually? Let me know in the comment section, please. I hear your chats coming in. I will get to them. But let me know if there's an echo when I share the screenio. So let's see. Am I going to do that? All right. Here we go. We are sharing the screen. Yeah, let me know if there's an echo coming through. But this was hilarious. That was a hilarious moment. Ecamm is telling me something. Anyway, I hope the audio is still working. So I'm switching back quickly. That was just a very like the perfect moment to finish these clásicos with Vinny. That whole shit show as well. I'm sorry, but excuse my French. That whole spectacle that he himself brought upon himself once again, just forced, like asking to be sent off. He's hurt, but he's going to continue, and then his back and forths with Carleto from the sideline to then leave limping. As he approaches the bench, you see this legend with Balón de Playa, and Vinny actually, he's got it. He takes the bait. He's always gonna take the bait. That's a good thing about Vinny. You can always taunt him, and he'll take the bait. So that was just a very funny moment, I think, for all Barca fans, and the fact that it ended in that way is certainly amusing. I'm circling it back now. It's amusing, these results, but it is obviously we should also shed a critical light naturally at the fact that we're having to make these comebacks, and that defensively being a little bit more sound would be better. Mejor para la salud. It would be better for the health, for the faint-hearted. Can't take it. My heart, chest starting to cramp up in some of these games. I don't know if I'm gonna make it till 50 on their Hansi Flick. Flick ball that, according to Fabrizio, right? Let me see if I can check that out. Is soon to extend his contract. Let's see if I think I saw him tweeting. Yeah. Till 2027. Here we go. That's old news, isn't it? Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yeah, we know he's coming to Real Madrid, mate. We all know that. All right, well, the Carleto Ancelotti deal is done. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you cannot hear the audio, so we'll be talking through this. And if you can make sure, yeah, if there's no echo. All right. Am I sharing? No. Here, no. Here we go. It is a done deal. Confirmed. Carleto will no longer be the coach, the manager of Real Madrid. Is off to Brazil at the end of May, so he will not participate in the Club World Cup. Fabrizio says here, it's always been a key condition for Brazil. A key condition for Brazil to... Sorry, Maximus, I'm going to get to your comments in a minute. The Hernandez thing, I have a lot to say about it, and I will get to that shortly. In fact, I'm here getting completely and utterly sidetracked. This is what I wanted to show you. Hansi Flick reportedly has agreed on a new deal with Barça until 2027. Official soon. ¿Qué pasa, my friend? Sergio, my friend. No me entero de nada. Pues tienes que practicar un poco el inglés. Estos son clases de inglés para ti, my friend. ¿Vale? Es hora de inglés. Siéntate y toma apuntes. This is English class for my friend Sergio. So, anyways, it's going to be a few more years of flickball. I'm expecting that come this summer, next season, one of the objectives will clearly be to solidify the back line. I don't want to talk about individuals' names or nothing of the sorts. I think that this game, it unfortunately came down to some bad officiating as well. So Maximus, strap yourself in, mate, because I've got here a few notes on yesterday's game, starting with the penalty for Real Madrid. So the first goal, obviously, that led up to the penalty. Um, he's Szczesny forced to commit a dive and clearly fouls him. That's not the controversy here. It's obviously having to do with the offside or potential offside, I should say. Cubarsí controlling the ball after an offside pass. The discussion here is the penalty was awarded despite the offside. Is it correct? Those that argue that it was the right call say that Cubarsí's initial control led to a new play, right? And therefore the dispossession of the ball, let's say, was a new play, and therefore Mbappe started in an onside position. VAR reviewed it and they upheld the call. What am I supposed? I don't know. I would like the criteria to always be the same. So, have we seen similar plays to this be deemed offside? The answer is yes. Why the criteria changes? That's what bothers me. This one is a toss up for me. I would just like them to be consistent. What are we going to go for? When is a new play initiated? At what point in time? In this case, Cubarsí, who, from what I remember, doesn't have a clear control of the ball neither. But there's clearer ones, right? Foul on Lamine Yamal before the 2-0. That one is undeniable, unquestionable, clear as day. I think it's Valverde, correct, that stomps on Lamine Yamal's boot. And literally in the span of not even 10 seconds later, Mbappe scores the 2-0. No foul is called. The goal is allowed. What are you going to say? VAR should have intervened. Again, the difference in criteria is my reason for frustration here. I remember games now on top of my head. Koundé, for example, the Koundé stomp at the very beginning of the season. This was maybe against Rayo. I don't remember the team, but it leads to a goal, a Barça goal, and the referee rewinds the tape to where the offense, or yeah, let's call, I can't even call it a foot stomp because Koundé literally gets the toes of the opposing player. That then eventually becomes a goal. We're talking here in the span of less than 10 seconds. They recorded 9 seconds. I think it's hugely unfair, and it significantly disadvantaged Barça, obviously being 2 goals down. So a position that we shouldn't have been in. Handball by Frankie de Jong leading up to the 2-0, or the 2-1 rather. Here, the time matters, right? De Jong's handball during the control is preceded then by an offensive play 30 seconds later. There's no handball called. The goal is allowed. Mind you, handball or not, it also is, it's arguable whether it's his hand or not, seeing as it hits him here, right? I don't need to remind anyone of the image that we saw as well, very, very clear as day, of a certain player handling a ball, 2 players, as a matter of fact. It was both with Bellingham and Vinny, where they controlled the ball here in this area, and no handball was called. So the point is that the referee missed that handball. VAR correctly didn't intervene, as the goal wasn't immediate. Barça benefited, yes, but the decision aligns with the VAR protocol for non-intermediate actions, immediate actions, excuse me. Then the red card, or potential red card once more, Tchouaméni on Ferran Torres. The French player fouled Torres, who was advancing in an Forward position, okay, he was moving forward. However, here the argument can be made that he wasn't moving directly towards goal. That is why it was yellow and it wasn't red. I believe that's the right call. Were Torres directly running towards the goal and the referee wouldn't have given the red card, then here I would be sitting much more furious. But the fact that he was moving towards the sideline, uh, it means that he's not in a clear goal scoring position. So I think it's probably the right call. That would have been the right call. Handball claim on Chouameni. Okay. So Ferran Torres is very close. Let's call it a meter away from the Frenchman. He hands his arms down to the back, quite, significantly, I would say, to the back, but down close enough to his body. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I'll tell you what, when I saw it on the TV, I was like, he's not going to call a penalty for that. Now, I've seen other angles and more takes from people, from professionals, from refs, from players, from pundits. At the moment, I didn't think it was a penalty. So they say, and I base it on the majority of people that I have heard speak about this one, it was the incorrect decision. The arm, though low, blocked a goal-bound shot. So that's somewhere where in the reglamentos, right, in the rules, it never states that a ball has to go direction goal for it to be considered a handball / penalty offense. So, but they're kind of shoehorning that in here. The fact that the shot was goal bound, it warrants a penalty. For many, Barça were denied a penalty. I insist. Me at the time, I didn't think so. I thought that the ref was going to call that a non-penalty. Fermin's goal, that one is definitely the one that pissed me off the most. Like that should have, that just should have stood. If you're not going to call the previous handballs, Chouameni's handball, for crying out loud, like the most obvious of all that could have been and should have been, according to Medi, being considered the penalty. Frenkie de Jong's is clearly a non-deliberate handball, and this one, I mean, Fermin Lopez literally gets the ball like shot upon his arm. Doesn't get a clear advantage neither in that moment. I mean, to call this one was shocking, really. That's the one that I think stung the most, even though Fermin Lopez himself afterwards came out and said that he admits that he said it was the right call, a handball, basically. No, admits, but he said that it was a handball and it was correctly called off. Again, here, the vast majority of the people seem to agree that, Fermin's goal was disallowed, but it was badly reviewed by VAR. It was the incorrect decision. There's the whole thing now, controversy as well with, I think it is Hernandez saying menos mal, the menos mal controversy, which means like thank goodness, basically. Less bad if you literally want to translate it, menos mal, but it's kind of like, oh, like thank God. The narrative is it was a sigh of relief that he had a reason to basically call the goal off. I don't think so. It was probably more a relief, an expression of relief to have caught, as in like to have spotted the potential handball. But anyway, it's besides the point. It's a little anecdota, if you ask me. I think in overall, it was just the incorrect decision. The handball didn't directly lead to the goal. The new play began when Fermin Lopez stole the ball. Here, VAR's intervention was inconsistent with the non-intervention in Yamid's foul. That's the big point here as well. So again, where's the consistency? If you're going to look at VAR here, why didn't you do it when Valverde stomped on Lamine Yamal's boot? The goal was an absolute beauty as well, this one. You would have wanted to give it to Fermin Lopez just for the stunner and to get the manita as well, man. They didn't want us to get a manita. Gavi put out a post. No querían. No querían otra manita. So, look, overall, the refereeing team, let's call it Hernandez and VAR combined, right? They made definitely multiple errors. I think that's undeniable that Barça were on the, call it, poopy end of the stick for the vast majority of those calls. There's no question that Barça were predominantly harmed. The goal snatched away, the penalty on for Mbappe that was offside, and the 2-0 that was a foul on Lamine. It's undeniable. I mean, even if you want to give Frenkie de Jong to the Madridistas, Barça here at least have 3, 4, 5 calls. So inconsistent interventions by VAR drive me nuts. Have some standards, have some criteria that you always apply that is just easy for everyone to understand and follow. Otherwise, it just adds to the grievance, and it's a shame that the Clasico has to be overshadowed. Yeah, I think it's too much of a talking point. The referee, it's you left that game feeling like, man, we should have gotten more. We should have gotten more. The referee here could have, for crying out loud, even allowed Madrid to get a draw, walk away with a draw. That would have been completely and utterly unfair and uncalled for. I mean, based on what we saw, the better team was Barça, hands down. So that is it, really. That is really it. That's what I wanted to get off of my chest. I will have a look at your comments right now and see what y'all's are saying. Welcome to D-Spot, by the way. Make sure that you subscribe on any of the channels that you're watching from. Again, this is a multi-stream, multi-platform stream coming to you on a wide angle. It's pretty wide. Where's the chat? Can't find it. All right, here we go. What is this? There we go. Let me pull that over here. All right, let me start chronologically, from the top. But thanks, Mario. I'll get to that. All right, I'll get to you in a minute. So, Prasanna saying, one good season and folks come out of hiding. Brace for injuries next season. Prasanna likes to kick it off with the, positive vibes. I love that. Thanks, Prasanna, for coming out with the good rhythm, that good vibration. That's what we love. That's what we're all about here. This is the spot for the goodness, for spreading, sharing the love and the good feelings and the good wishes. So, yeah, thanks for that, Prasanna. Good man. What's up, Petty Miss? They try to rob us, Diego. That's exactly what they tried to do, isn't it? They tried to snatch it away. They tried, but they can't do it. They can't stop Lamine Yamal and company. My God, I can't wait for next season, man. I can't wait for next season. I am pumped. This is going to be an exciting summer. This is going to be a great off season. We're going to get to rest a little while others participate in little made up Disneyland tournaments, getting that extra mileage on their system. Hopefully our boys and girls, for that matter, and young boys and girls, all the Barca sections have been doing great, quite frankly. Let's see if the B team can salvage their season by staying in the Primera Federación. That's the big one now. But the under-19s, the women, the main, el baloncesto, the basket, there's some improvements that need to be made there, that's for sure. But yeah, man, they tried. But hey, I'm very happy with this season, how it's coming to a conclusion, the way we're playing. It's like, a buddy of mine was saying, he's like, man, you've made the world fall in love with football again. That's what this team has achieved. The Barca fans, we are allowed to feel good and to just bask in this glory Um, which, you know, we hopefully, obviously, I want this team to remain ambitious and build on. And trust me, I want that Champions League once again. I need it back. But the way, just to hear others talk about uh, all the positives of this team, from the youth, from the way, the creativity, the creativity, excuse me, the fearlessness, the attacking flair, the joy. It's, you know, just the yeah, just there's a swagger, there's an aura about this team, and you got to give it up to the marketing department as well. This whole thing with you know, with homeboy, god damn it, Travis Scott. It's phenomenal. Like this partnership between Barça and Spotify is, it'll paying dividends, I'm sure. We are capturing the hearts and minds of a new generation of Barça fans, as well as the old heads like myself that are enamored by these young lads. And for time to come, the future looks bright. Let's go, Petty Miss. The future looks bright. Intro beats. We need a beatbox. We need that beat bop bop. Beatbox. We need that beat bop 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 bop. How's that? I need some water. A little dry here in the mouth. Intro beats. You know I play your beats. Let me hopefully you're still on the screen on the stream. Here's an intro beat production. You already know. You know. Intro beats. Bounce with me, baby. Now, I would freestyle on this, but it is not in sync. Now here's a story about a man named me bounce in and out of different industries. Me was confused how to progress. Luckily me family were loving the bless. Yes, me was afraid, just a bit scared. We knew that the talent that we had was rare. Me like to talk, me like to sing. Me felt that spark, me want to do me thing. Me bounce around from town to town. Me lost and found, me upside frown. But many people didn't like to see me doing things for which we felt the need. Me try to blend, me never offend. Me never claim nothing that wasn't earned honest, me friend. Slick Rick and Churros is on this jam. I'm signing out. Peace out to the D-Spot fam. Intro beats. Bounce with me, baby. Oh, intro. You don't make them anymore like you used to, my friend. I know you like the whole electronic vibe now, and you've moved away. You've turned your back on your hip-hop past. But, damn, the greatest. One of the greatest producers I have ever had the pleasure of knowing and working with. Intro Beats. Go give this guy a follow. Let's see. Let's keep moving. Again, I know that this is out of sync as well, which makes it all the more horrible, probably. I hope I did that justice. Intro. Emil saying, still a la Madrid, chico. You must be out of your mind, man. Emil. What did you have for breakfast? Coming here talking crazy. Chas is saying, what happened to the comeback against Inter? What happened? Were you worried then? I'm always worried watching Barça, my friend. It's an emotional roller coaster, of course. It goes up, down, around and around. But right now, it's up and to the right. So I'm enjoying this one. But I'm always worried. I just know that this team has it in them to make comebacks. They've been proving that all season. And thanks, in great part, to a 17-year-old kid. And that, again, is something that we haven't never seen. I wasn't around when Pelé won the World Cup when he was a mere teenager, but Messi wasn't doing this yet. Not against seasoned vets, defenders, big name players. And of course, got to give Rafinha a big shout out as well. Man, my mouth is so dry. I need to definitely not do any more beatboxing or freestyling. And to get through these questions, there's quite a few. Let me try to, what's the word? Steamroll through these, because I have to be on daddy duties. Daddy duties, they call. The family has arrived. We have touchdown in the Lorraine household with the little monsters back from school and their sporting extracurricular activities. All right, here we are. So was I worried? Yes, I'm always worried, but I also trust. In Flickball do I trust? And these boys. Salty Madridistas in here. Yes, Betty. Isn't that great? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. This is a space for all. You are all welcome here. Just be respectful, alright? Je weet toch dat we terugkomen. De Champions League niet winnen met City. Proficia voor LaLiga. Hey man, we komen altijd terug. All the bigs. I trust that they all come back. I even have faith in, say, Manchester United or Milan, AC Milan. I mean, they're on their way back. So, of course, this rivalry wasn't born yesterday between Barça and Real Madrid. It didn't start this season or last season. It's been around for over a century, my friend. Over 120 years. Call it 25. All right. So, Maximus, I hope that you followed that breakdown of Hernandez's match in terms of refereeing. Sergio, all right, motherfucker, ¿qué te pasa? Venga, aprender inglés. For forever, saying one of the VAR members said, "Thank God." So, yeah. So again, that's the whole what I was referring to before, right? The menos mal. I think it's taken out of context. Out of context, personally. Abraham, question D: what are your thoughts on Araujo's performances this season? Abraham, today's not the day. Today is not the day to point fingers and say it's all your fault. Today is not the day. I'm not going to do it. So I have my thoughts on Araujo, and we have a whole summer and off season now to get into the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty. Break it down to the nitty gritty. Whose fault is this? And maybe point a finger or two, but before that, I just want to secure La Liga. I mean, it's not even won yet. So mathematically, it is not over yet. So let's get that one in the bag, celebrate a little, boogie, and then we'll get into names and numbers. Daniel, in regards to Madrid's first goal, the okay, Barça got the same. All right. In the Supercopa semifinal, come on, Diego. Come on, Daniel. I've named at least like 5 or 6 that went in your favors to the one. Keep coming up with a Frankie now. Daniel, sure, we can. That's what I'm talking about as well. The consistency criteria. I would love to see that being applied to each and every single game. Exactly the same. Just black and white. You could throw the book at it and say, see, that's why this was called. Until that happens, we're always going to be debating. But don't tell me that in this game yesterday, Barça were not harmed a lot more. And in the other games, you talk about the Supercopa, the same. The Copa del Rey final, Barça again hindered more than Real Madrid. I mean, it's been a consistent pattern, bro. And I'm not saying this is a conspiracy. It's just factual. Maximus, what can Barça do to counter these clear inconsistencies? What can they do? Have shady meetings. Meet in a dark alley with a briefcase. Communicate. Go to the meetings. Keep consistently talking about this, about how to improve as a whole federation, a league as a whole, as a association, the refereeing committee association, how compare them to other leagues, how do they pair up, In the Premier League, they're complaining just as much. I've realized from these spaces that in Serie A, it's an absolute joke. Premier League, the same. Más de lo mismo. Es que nunca estamos contentos, tío. Nunca estamos contentos. We'll never be happy. Uh, Diego, congrats on the Clasico domination. Thank you so much. Spahija. The stat that I saw, which sums up the season, is that Barça ran 7 miles more per game than Madrid this season. Ooh. Yeah, I saw stats like that. It's impressive, that, isn't it? It always astonishes me just how much more this season, especially. But you just notice that the teams that are more successful run their asses off much more. It comes down to sacrifice, right? I mean, if you're going to press like this, if you're going to be successful in the high line, in the way you attack, the risks that you take, everybody has to be on board and everybody has to run their asses off. So, and when you don't, you notice it immediately. And I guess my question right now is, how long can they keep this up? This is it's un desgaste. It takes definitely a physical toll. These players need the break, this summer break, and hopefully we can wrap up this Liga already now. I think on Thursday, if not on Sunday. Some big games for that matter. Espanyol. I mean, what's gonna happen? I think Madrid play Mallorca. I don't know which order, but Mallorca is still in the running for the European spots. So I think basically now, if we get 3 points, it's over, and if they drop points, it's over. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. Why am I saying this? I need the boys to rest because a season like this with so many games and playing this way will definitely take a toll physically. And, we know how important it is to recuperate. Game off. Mario, congrats on the win. I have some great ideas for your brand to grow. I see potential. Thank you, Mario. Mario. Another message from Mario. All right, well, hit me up with a DM, my friend. And how do I feel about Xavi joining Madrid? It's a good pick. I think it's between him or Klopp. Both were going to be really solid picks. Do I prefer Klopp? I think I would prefer. I think Xabi Alonso is a better, more obvious fit, given obviously his status as an ex-player, the fact that he knows Madrid inside out, the culture, the language, all these things. He's going to be respected. It'll be like Zizou. He'll be respected as soon as he walks into the locker room. And which, by the way, I just got to talk with Fernando Morientes again this morning for the good people from Press Box, which was really cool. Morientes becoming like a regular on D Spot. And yeah, he was also, just basically I'm echoing those words. I mean, he's going to be received as a legend. I think that what he did with Bayern Leverkusen has been amazing despite this season. I mean, last season getting not just winning their first Bundesliga title, but also getting to the latter stages of European competition and being in a running for that. So is if I'm, I would understand for Madridistas to be hugely excited because this would be kind of their, I think, hope that they can mirror a kind of a Pep Guardiola style figure for their club, which of course they can't. I mean, that's what they'll be hoping for. And yeah, I get that ilusión. En fin, eso es todo. Petty Miss saying, we proud again. Yes, we are, my friend. Julian, big up Diago. That's the Japanese way of saying my name, I believe. But thank you. Respect to you as well, my friend. Diago, we have to address the referee. Yes, so I got into that. Click rewind and watch this episode from the beginning, my friend. It's over, bro. See you on Churros. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, tomorrow, Churros. Kian is currently traveling and safely and soundly getting back home. to see his lovely wife and kiddos. But we shall be recording tomorrow live and for free on the regular platforms. Subscribe to YouTube, DSpot, for youtube.com/DSpot. That is my humble personal little YouTube channel. Give it a follow. Hit the campanita, the little bell for notifications, because I stream also there. I know that we normally regularly go on Kian's platform, but hey, I'm back in full force, and I have cranked up the old channel DSpot again. So give me a follow there. Give me a follow on all these platforms. I'm even on Kick and Twitch if the stream has come through correctly. I pay no attention, but I will shortly soon figure out if that is actually happening. If there's anybody watching on Twitch or Kick, throw me a smoke signal right now so that I know that it's working. I'm a boomer in a way, so I'll figure that out sooner or later. All right, last ones here before I say my final goodbye. The Rafinha celebration. Well, yeah, that was hilarious. Rafinha pointing to his cast, little taped up wrist. That was perfect, of course. Great little dig to this Real Madrid doctor that tried to insinuate doping. If they can't beat us, contra todo y todos, through criminal or civil o criminal, like they'll try to do it. We have to fight everyone and everything, and they'll try to beat us by any means, but they can't. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. Have a good afternoon. Join us on Churros tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central European time sharp. It's a live show. It's a one for free. We do on this platform. Otherwise, give us become a patron on patreon.com/churros y tácticas. Thank you guys. Exactly. If it's not Negreira, it's the doping, etc. It's quite sad, but it's fun. It's amusing. And that is what is flickball for us. Very entertaining and amusing. See you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.